Can either of you pinpoint the politician you've talked to that impressed you more than you ever would have thought they could have based on an interview that you did with them? That's a tough question, I would imagine, if you didn't have it in the back of your mind already. But
Well, I talked to George H.W. Bush, George Bush the elder, after he was out of the White House. And once politicians are out of the White House, they don't have to worry about a political career anymore. It's done. So they're much looser and more candid. And he was, I could see then when I talked to him, and I spent some time with him at his home down in Kennebunkport, and he was just so warm and so friendly. You know, he took me down by the water and grabbed a fishing rod, and he's casting into the water for whatever, stripers or something. And I could just see, okay, I can see why this is a guy who would have 10,000 friends and that he would have, be able to create the organization that gets you to the White House. He was just enormously likable. And I don't think that came through on television. One of those people who, one-on-one, enormously likable. On television, somehow just that quality got diminished.
yeah. Amanda, do you have a dream guest for 207?
You.
Oh my goodness.
You might want to rethink that answer.
I was going to say, you might want to clean that before you put it up.
I have to go sterilize my mouth now. No, really, is there somebody that you haven't had that just, if you could pick anybody in the world, and I get this question too, and I feel bad asking it, but it's kind of the go-to question. Who, if anybody, you could have on the show, would it be?
That's a really interesting question. I'm looking to you for help with this because
Well, the guy everybody on Maine television wants is Stephen King.
that's true.
He does our show all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We've also been turned down quite a bit by Anna Kendrick.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
that's right. We've been turned down by some first-rate people.
Yeah. Something else we have in common. But you guys seem to have shared a special bond with Patrick Dempsey, though, over the years, as a station anyway, with the Dempsey Challenge.
He's one of those people. Have you had the pleasure of interviewing him?
I have not.
The first time I met him was when they announced the start of the Dempsey Challenge. And he came right up to me and was like, "Hi, I'm Patrick Dempsey." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I know that. Of course I know that." But he's one of those people too who is very genuine and very, very kind. And he's got 1,000 people around him shuffling him here and there. And yet, if you ask him a question, he will stop and answer your question. Yeah, he was wonderful.
It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
The thing about shows with co-hosts, sometimes they famously don't get along. So you had Regis and Kathy Lee. I don't think I've spoken much since she left. And then Regis and Kelly. Maybe Regis is the problem, actually. Regis and Kelly Ripa. And then, I mean, did anybody like Megyn Kelly? So the question I have is, do the two of you get along? It's only been a year and a half or so, but are you friends?
No.
No.
Can't stand each other. At
Yeah.
each other's throats
Yeah.
all
All
the
the
time.
time? I can tell.
Yeah, it's awful.
We go through a lot of mugs because we're just hurling them at each other.
He's very demanding. As you can tell, he's a diva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I tell him this and he gets very embarrassed. But when I was hired at News Center Maine years ago, I was in the office with the news director and I was like, "I don't think you understand. That's Rob Caldwell right there." So it was always my dream to work with him.
Because you're from Maine.
Yes.
Turner, right?
Yes, and he's always been one of my favorite people to watch on television. I just think he's so good at what he does. More compliments if you want them. He's so good.
Well, not to interrupt, but I can validate that story. She told that story the first time on this show 6 years ago. So this is not even because you're in the room. She told that exact same story.
The first time that I went into WCSH for a job interview, I went up the elevator with Bill Green, and I thought
And he
that
fanboyed
was
over
so
that.
cool. It was so exciting. So I sort of know what she's talking about.
And where are you from originally?
I grew up in Connecticut, but I've lived in Maine since right after high school, and it's the only place I've been since then.
Nice. Well, I can tell you guys are friends, and I don't know about you, but I'm big on social media, as I've proven tonight.
Of course.
I know the social
Of
media like
course.
the back of my hand. So I was scouring through this thing. I don't know if you've heard it, YouTube, and they have these. That was a joke. They have these challenges. that people do with each other, and one is called the Best Friend Challenge. And it might get a little bit messy, but are you interested in participating in the Best Friend Challenge?
It sounds as though we should have said no weeks ago when you asked us to come here, but we're in, Dan.
Great.
Let's
well,
do
we're going to
it.
do the Best Friend Challenge with Rob and Amanda right after this. Don't go away, everybody.